Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Stampin' with Nono. Thank you for tuning in. The video for today is on a 3D box that I made. It's for a card swap that I am in, and I wanted to do a 3D box. Searched Pinterest. I found a non-Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who created this box, and I thought, well, that would really be perfect because I like to do different things in my swap. But the individual did not provide detailed measurements, and it was basically an overall measurement. And the box had a lid that the way it operates, and I'll show you here in just a second. The way it operates, the lid falls off if you put something heavy in it. And when I tried to figure out what the measurements were, it really came out too small for what I had envisioned. So I took her concept and created my own version, and I like it, and I wanted to share with you guys. So this is the box. I'm naming it a mini triple box. I really didn't know what to call it, but this is the Valentine's version of my card swap. I've done will do two versions, I should say. And in this video, I'll show you my second one. So it has a belly band, and it slides off, and then it opens up, and there's 3 boxes. I think you guys can see the 3 boxes. Let me turn it over to the side. Okay, I just thought it was really cool. And I just slipped in some candy. It's different candy so that you can see that different size candies can fit in this box. And the individual that inspired me to do this box measures, I think this is about 2 inches. Her version was almost 1 inch. So it was really difficult to figure out what to put in the box. So this is my version with the measurements and everything. But I did not keep any of her information because I put it aside, and then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I want to create my own because I just thought it was a really cool idea. So, but this is what we're going to be making, and let me put this over to the side. Now, I did create a diagram that I will have this on my blog. I'll have it posted, but I'll show you the measurements as we go through it so that you guys can see. But this is our cardstock, and I did put the measurements, and the measurements are odd numbers, but there is a reason for that, and it will make sense to you as we get to it. So the product that I'm going to be using is this birthday. I'm going to do a birthday box, and I'm using the With You in Mind, and then the DSP is coming from the Wildflower birthday, and it's actually this flower DSP here. I just thought that was really, really pretty. All right, so let me bring everything over that we'll be needing with the measurements. We're going to be needing a circle punch. I've got a 3/4, but any circle punch will be fine if you so choose to do what I'm going to show you to do. We've got candy, and again, I'm just showing you the different sizes that would fit in that box. And the chocolate smells wonderful. I'm going to put that right there. Okay, we're going to need a pencil. All right, so let me bring this. Let me show you. We're going to need a piece of scrap. About measures 4 by 1.5, but you know, again, it's a scrap, so whatever you can find. We're going to do a label for the outside, so we'll need a piece of white that measures 3 3/8 by 1 7/8, and I never mention it, but these measurements are in inches. All right, so we'll need that, and then the outside label cardstock. This is Blueberry Bushel, and that measures 3 1/2 by 1 3/4. All right, so this will go here like so. All right, so for the box, let me take this out. Let's see. Let me finish doing the belly band. All right, so for the belly band, I'm just calling it the outside band. That measures 7 1/4 by 1 1/4, and we're going to score. I've done it multiple ways where I just kind of wrapped it around it, and I prefer scoring it. It was just a clean look to it. So I've come up with the measurements. That is 1 3/8, 2 5/8, 4 1/2, and 5 3/4. All right, so that's it on the outside. So the box itself, the little slide out pieces here, the actual box, you'll need 3 of those, and they measure 4 by 3 1/2. And on the short side, which is this way, you're going to score 1 and 2 1/2, and then on the long side, 1 and 3. Now, or you can just score 1 inch and just keep turning it. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, all the way around. But I just went on and did those measurements for you. The part that wraps around this box, you'll need 3 of those. And they measure 6 3/4 by 2. And you're going to score 1 1/2, 2 9/16, 4 3/16, and 5 1/4. These measurements are critical because you want the part that wraps around the box to be slightly bigger than the box itself so that it slides in and out easily. Okay, and then the base itself, which is this, is 6 1/2 by 4 3/4, and you're going to score on the short side 1 3/4 and 3. Okay, now let's see, we've got some DSP. Let me go ahead and show you those now. So let's go back into, okay, so the top piece of DSP, I'm calling it the base top, measures 6 3/8 by 1 5/8. Now, you can make these into the quarters if you so choose. 6 1/4 by, what's 5/8 here? 5/8, 5/8, Teresa, think about 5/8. 1 1/2. But I like having a very thin border, so just for your information, okay? So 6 3/8 by 1 5/8. And then when you open it up, we've got what I'm calling the spine, inside spine, and that is 6 3/8 by 1 1/8. Now, I cut these pieces here and here and here separate just because I wanted to save DSP. But you can certainly do a whole piece that, you know, obviously the center won't be seen, but I'm just throwing that out at you. I just like to save my DSP. So these pieces here that are flat, that go to the base, and you'll need 3 of those. Those measure 2 by 1 5/8. Okay, now the top of the box, you need to probably mark your DSP because this size and this size are very, very close. Obviously, these down here adhered to the base is larger, but you know, when you're in the groove of gluing, you want to make sure you're gluing the right pieces. So the top part DSP measures 1 7/8 by 1 1/2. All right, so I'm going to put the DSP back in here so I don't lose it. All right, and let's do some scoring. I'll probably do some stamping last, so I'm going to move that out of the way and this out of the way. All right, I'm going to move this off to the side and get situated here. Let's see, no room at the end. All right, here we go. All right, so this base, again, I did do some scoring ahead of time because I'm just trying to save time on the video, but let me just go over it. I'm bringing over, you really need your trimmer because of the odd measurements with this box. All right, so let's see. Let me slide all this over to the other side. And we'll go through it real quick. Okay, So here we go. So again, the base measures 6 1/2 by 4 3/4. So on the short side, you're going to score at 3 right here. It's already scored, so I'm not going to rescore it. 3 and then 1 3/4. Okay. All right. So we're good on that one, right? So I'm going to move my Post-it stick out of the Post-it note. Or I should say sticky note, right? All right, so these 3 that you need, I did go ahead and score all of them. And like I said, if you want, for ease, just score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So there's 1 inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and 1 inch here, okay? Just for easy scoring, all right? So we need 3 of those. The outside band, I'm going to go ahead and score. I'm going to actually do the scoring so that you guys can see it, because it's an odd scoring, right? The measurements are odd. Let me make some room here. Okay, so make sure I bring my scoring board and not cut it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do this one first. 1 1 3/8. 1 3/8. So the way I do it, you find the quarter, and it's 2 ticks past the quarter. My husband laughs at me when I do that, but hey, you do whatever works, right? Next measurement is 2 5/8. So you find the 2 1/2 mark, and it is 2 ticks past the 2 1/2. That makes 2 5/8. The next one's 4 1/2, which is easy. We like that one, right? That's a good measurement. And the next one is 5 3/4, and that's a good one. Now, this belly band will be loose, so that's why we had some odd measurements in the belly band. All right, so the box wrap is what I'm calling it, that you need 3. I'm going to do the measurements. I did do scoring on the other 2, but I wanted to go ahead and show this to you, okay? So first one, measurements, easy. It's 1 1/2. The next one is 2 9/16. So 2 9, so let me get to the 2 9/16. I got to do my brain here. Is go to the 2 1/2, and it's the next tick. It's just 1 tick over. That's 2 9/16. Then 4 3/16, you go to the 4 3/16 is, find the 1/8, and it's 1 tick past the 1/8. I know you guys are laughing at me, and that's okay. I'm good with it. You guys do your measurements however you need to, right? The next measurement is 5 1/4, which is easy. All right, so that's 3 of those. Now we are done scoring, so let me get this out of the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and build the boxes. I'm going to save gluing down the DSP and the stamping for the tail end. So let's go ahead and do this box. So we got 3 of them that we need to do this to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the one. And you're going to take the long side. Right, so you know that's short, right? You can see it. So you take the long side, and what you want to create this is a short side, right? So this fits like this. Obviously this is not to scale, and we want to cut away to make some flaps, right? Let me put this over to the side. All right, so take the long side. Now the way I don't fold and burnish when I'm cutting, it's personal preference. I can see the lines better or the scoring better when I don't fold and burnish. So what you want to do is you want to go straight up, and I cut away, if you will, the scored part, and I want to miter ever so slightly. Just take a little sliver out, right? And you want to also do it on the ends. I found that the box closed a lot nicer when I did that. All right, so same thing, go straight up, cutting away the scored piece and mitering it or wedging it out, different terms, but you want to cut away, which I think you guys can see. All right, how I'm cutting that away. And then on the end, I want to just trim off ever so slightly. Oop, I missed it just a little bit. There we go. We'll flip it over and do the same thing straight across. Cut the score away. A little bit of a miter or wedge. I use the term miter. Some people like wedging it out. Again, one more time. Cutting away. And there we go. All right, let me get all these little slivers out of the way. Ah! Okay. So if you're following me, now is the time to fold and burnish. And this is so small. You don't have to burnish too much, but just fold it. Don't have to press super hard. All right. You're going to do these on all 3 boxes, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to glue the box. Now you can use tear and tape. I'm just going to use glue because I need, well, I'm a glue girl, but I need my extra seconds to build this box to make sure that the edges, you want really clean box when you assemble it. You don't want it, I'm going to over exaggerate, but you don't want the box to go in like this and be crooked, or you don't want it to be sticking out, or else it won't fit in the slider. Okay, now before I actually glue, you need to bring over your circle punch. If you so choose to do this, I just found it was much easier to handle, but I put a little notch just on one end of each of the boxes. Now you can do it on both ends. I've done that, but I just decided just to go ahead and do it on one. Again, personal preference. So on all 3 boxes, before you put the box together, because your circle punch won't fit, is to go ahead and do a cutout. So I'm just going up, making sure that I'm even between both of the score marks, and voila. And that piece went flying. All right, so we are ready now to assemble, assuming I did that on all 3 boxes, right? All right, so on the long side, the long tab, we're gonna glue it like so. All right, so let me get that going. All right, and again, you can use tear and tape if you want. I just like some extra help and I need some extra seconds to put this box together. Again, just making sure that the ends are perfect, almost perfect alignment. You know, nothing's always perfect, but, and then flip it over and do the same thing. All right, there we go. I hope you guys like this project. It was a lot of fun. I was disappointed that I couldn't use that project. Disappointed only because it's not what I wanted. It was a great project if you wanted something small, but I did not. So, but kudos to whoever. I wish I could remember her. All right, so you do that with 3 boxes. So to save time, I went on and ahead of time and I did the other 3 boxes. So we have 3 boxes that are ready to go. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to build the wrap around the box. All right. So you're going to do that 3 times. And what I found is just go ahead and fold and burnish like that. And then it's going to come together, and you want to make sure that it's straight, right? So the easiest thing to do that I found is fold it at the second score. Just fold it down flat. There's a score there. And then this, just bring over. And it's not going to, this end is not going to bump up against that score mark, all right? So the way you know that you got it right is you open it, trying to keep a good grip on it, and then fold it the other way, and it folds flat without giving you any trouble. And then when you're looking at it like this, it's a even square. Just a little trick I found when I was putting these boxes together. There's no sense in struggling when you're putting this together. It works perfect, okay? So there you go, folding it flat. Got glue everywhere. All right, and there you go. So let me just show it to you. It easily, it doesn't get stuck. Again, for purposes of this video, I did go ahead and do the other two ahead of time. So there are the wraps. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way. All right, so let's see what's next. We have the belly band. I'm gonna go ahead and wait on that. That'll be last, so I'm just gonna put that over there. And then we have our base, which we are, nothing else needs to be done with that. All right, so let's do, let's see, how did I do this? I did assembly of the box before adding any of the DSP. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so card base, I'm gonna go ahead and fold and burnish. All right. It's been a while since I've done these boxes, so I hope I'm not confusing anybody with trying to figure this out. All right, so this is going to be the inside. It's going to be like this, right? All right, so what we want to do is we want to work on, oops. When you open it up, we want to work on this box, okay? And it's really the wrap that we want to work on. We don't need these boxes until we're basically done creating the whole 3D. So we're just setting that side out of the way. We need to work on the wrap to put on the base, all right? So what I found is you need to start with this one, which is the middle. And I've got a ruler that has the center here. So I just find the center. I think it's 3 1/4 on each side, if I remember correctly. Yes. All right. So this score mark right here, I don't know if you guys can see, but I went ahead and did a tick mark right here. And that just helps me to know when I'm gluing this down where that center is. Okay, so we're working on the top. I don't know if you can see it, sorry. We're working on this top. All right, so I got my tick mark there. Now, something that I learned is, and I did mark one of them, is maybe for the wrap. This is the seam. I want, you know, obviously you want the seam down. You don't want it shown, and it gives more stability to the base. I don't know if you can see, but there's a tick mark here on the edge. On the side, I've tried to find, I didn't try, I used a ruler. I didn't wing it. This is 2 inches, so find the center, which is 1 inch, okay? And you're gonna need that. That helps you line tick mark to tick mark when you're gluing that down, okay? And it's gonna go like that. Now, before I glue it down, just a couple notes. You don't want to glue it directly on the score. You want to just ever so slightly, just a hair below the scored mark, because you want to make sure that this easily closes up. without any resistance, okay? And the boxes are made, they're narrow enough to give you a little bit of a lip, but you don't have much to work with. So just to let you know, okay? So this is the seam side. I'm going to glue the seam side down. And guys, I'm going to turn it this way so that I can see the tick mark better, all right? So glue here, that's my tick mark. I'm going to go like this and line it up, all right? Hopefully that made sense. I mean, you can easily mass produce these once you get the measurements down. You know, trick would be just make sure you take your time when you are doing the scoring. All right, so I'm just below the score, and it's good. I can close it, give it a good mark. All right, there we go. There's one. Perfect. All right, so this is the time you want to go ahead and erase. It pretty much gets covered. You don't really need to worry about it, but I'm going to go ahead and erase it. All right, so the next trick that I found is, you know, obviously you want to measure these so that, you know, from an appearance, it's fairly even. So again, this is the seam down, and what I found is I did this one and I went like this, okay, and I winged it. I just eyeballed it, and I made sure that there was clearance between this one and this one, which is ever so slightly, all right, and there's a little bit of a border there that you can see, right? All right, so what I did is I just used lightly a pencil. Actually, what I did before I marked the pencil, I brought this one over just to make sure I didn't have to make any adjustments in the event that I may not have put this one in the middle. All right, so that looks good, and that looks good, right? So it's about the same measurement all the way across. So I'm going to go ahead and put a tick mark here just so that I can see, and then a tick mark here. All right, so I at least know where to line the edge up. So again, I'm taking the seam side. I'm going to glue the seam side down. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I just found the box just felt more sturdy when I did that. So it's right against, again, right up against my little tick mark and below the scored. You want to make sure it closes easily, and it does. We like that. And same thing on this one. Seam side down. Again, glue or tear and tape, whichever is your preference when you do 3D. And then again, oops, that was a little too far. I think that's right. That one might be just a smidgen. There we go. Plenty of room. All right. Woo, voila. Super easy. All right. It's so exciting. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do some gluing of, let's see, what are we going to do? Let's do some DSP gluing, all right? So since I've got this open, let me bring over, we're going to do the spine. It's going to go like this. Now, you know, you can swap it up if you want. And, you know, actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this side instead of the flowers. I use the flowers on the others. I just thought that was so pretty. I love the colors. I'm going to glue that down. Again, the inside spine. All right, move that down. Yeah, this flattens down, so it's easy to wait to put the DSP stuff down. All right, so now we want to do the box lids, and again, you know, be mindful of the measurements, right? Because these on the base are two inches. So these 3, and they're going to go right on top of the box like so. right? And easy enough to glue down because the wrap flattens down. All right, there we go. I hope you guys can see how easy it is to put together, that you guys actually do it. And I always love to see the projects that have inspired you, and I hope this does. Now I'm gonna put candy on the boxes that I've made, but you can certainly put different things in there. You can put like a little note, a little inspirational note. You can wad up some money and stick it in there. You can probably put some jewelry. All right, so this DSP, and I can't find it. Here we go. I thought I lost it. And it's gonna go like so. And also, you know, your DSP, this is really non-directional, but you do have to be mindful if you do pick a DSP that has direction to it. Okay, so I'm going to glue those down. And just make sure you're lining up this piece with that center. You're going to do that on both sides. And then this one, just center between these two boxes. Fold that flat. Stick it in there. That looks about right. Yep. And I'm going to turn this over so I can see better when I line up this edge with this DSP edge. I think that made sense. And there we go. Well on our way. Super easy. Doesn't look, I mean, I guess it does look complicated, but once you break it down, not bad at all. All right, so we are done with that. Let's go ahead and let's do the top. So the top is the one that has the single box. So what's great is you just flatten. I flipped it over, right? And this is the top. I called it the base top, and just put that right there. And glue that. Oops. Oops. All right. There we go. And I think we're done with the box. We just got to work on the belly band and some stamping. So let's bring over the boxes. Let's go ahead and let's fill them up just so that you can see the different candies that would fit. This is an Andes peppermint. You just fold the flap down. That goes right in there. Easily fit two if you want. And look how easy that is. That's awesome. This is a Dove dark chocolate. You can easily fit probably 3 in there easily. Or if you want more, they would stand up easily. And then I love these. These have been so good. This is the Hershey. Again, you can fit a couple, or it sticks out just a smidgen, so probably have to go flat, but you could fit probably 2 in there easily. All right, there we go. All right, that's it. Let me line that up. Please close. Let's easily. All right, there we go. Oh, that's awesome. And look at that. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to set this aside, and let's work on the belly band. We got to do some stamping. Let me bring that over and get that confused. And then my scrap. We also, I'll keep that label on there so I don't forget that's my scrap. So we are, again, using the With You in Mind stamp bundle. Not stamp bundle, but stamp set. And let me go ahead and let's do this one. What do I want to do? I want to stamp Happy Birthday on the label. And I am using Blueberry Bushel. Let's see, we're done with my pencil. Let me get that. Let me make some room over here off camera. You guys can't see, but all right, Blueberry Bushel. Ink it up. It's just going to say Happy Birthday. All right. Nice even press. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let me clean it. We're done with that one. I made a mess. All right. We're done with that. So next I'm bringing over my scrap piece, and we are needing Blueberry Bushel again, and I taken the cupcake from the With You in Mind stamp set. All right, and ink it up and just stamp it. All right, done with that one. So I'm going to stamp the cupcake in Peach Pie. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, I always forget to look before I videotape. This stamp set is in the annual catalog, and it's been a great stamp set. It was designed by a fellow demonstrator, and she did a great job. Very versatile stamp set. So if you don't have it, maybe something you might want to consider getting. It's a great one to keep in your stash. All right, then the next one is going to be inked up in soft seafoam. Okay. All right, so with this stamp set, there are no dies, but the images that come with it are super easy to fussy cut. And I say that because I don't like to fussy cut, but this is a good stamp set to fussy cut. So what you're going to want to do is to go ahead and trim each one of these, okay? So for sake of the video, I did go ahead and fussy cut the 3. Blueberry Bushel, Peach Pie, Soft Seafoam. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. So I'm going to glue this. Am I gluing it? Yes, I'm gonna glue everything flat. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do dimensionals, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue it flat. Okay, there we go. All right, so what I want to do is I want to put a cupcake here, cupcake here, and then like so. And I'm just going to do it flat. Just a little bit of glue. Probably pop it up. And I'm just going to glue it flat. Let's see this side. All right. Now let's bring the band over. We're done gluing for a minute. All right, so I did do the scoring right now. Again, you don't have to score. You can just get your band and you can bend it around the box. I just elected not to. I just liked the look. So when it comes together, I think it's the short end. Is that right? The short end starts up at the top. Is that right? Sorry. It's not the short end. The this to here is shorter than this to here. So you want the larger wind, right? And it's going to wrap around. And it's going to be loose. Oops, the box just fell out. Let me get all this out just a second. Okay. So, what was I saying? All right, so this is going to go like this. And you're just going to wrap it around. And you want it loose. You don't want it snug, right? So you're just going to glue that down like so. All right. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there. And glue it. All right. Oops. It's going to wiggle, and you want it to. You don't. Again, you don't want it. Put it a little bit too close to the edge. You don't want it super snug because you don't. The recipient, you don't want them struggling trying to open up the box. Right? Okay. So just slide it off. There you go. There's your box. Wrap. Okay. So now what we want to do, I'm going to leave the seam side up. Put it in. Oops. Slide it. It's not overly snug. It's going to be enough that someone who is not familiar with belly bands won't struggle. All right. And then this, you can put dimensionals right there, which is I think what I'm going to do, just down the center. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals there. I'm going to do 3. And again, you want to hide the seam from the belly band. Get that out of the way. All right, then just find the middle. That is in the middle, I think. And you want this right in the center. Right. And just press and then slide it out. Press down. There you go. That's it. Super, super easy. All right, let me put the candy back in since I knocked it over. All right. So slide that in. Slide that in. Slide that in. All right, we're going to close it up. And we're going to slide. Come on. There we go. Easily slides in. All right, let me go ahead and do this one. So easily do these boxes for almost any occasion, really, right? Someone who you just want to cheer somebody up. Obviously Valentine's, birthday, just because I hope you feel better, just anything. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope this inspires you guys to make it. Again, a great stamp set that's versatile. The Endless Love was used for this one. The DSP was retired, but it was, I think it was last year's retirement. I can't remember when, but it makes a great Valentine's little card gift. And again, I'm calling it the mini triple box. I don't know what else to call it, but so you guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging with me. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will have the measurements. It's actually, this is what I will have on my blog. If you need to refer back to it if I spoke too fast in the video with the measurements that I called out from the Post-it note. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a great week, and happy stamping to all of you. You take care. Bye.